What's going on, guys? Snaggy here, and it's time to preview State of Origin Game 1 2025, guys. And always, I want to know who you're taking, who's going to win. And I know everyone, if you're a Blue, you're just going to say the Blues. Don't just say Blues win. Tell me why they're going to win. Give me a try scorer. Give me a little bit of information. I want to get a general sentiment of what people are thinking, how it's going to go down. 13 plus, 1 to 12. I love seeing it all, boys. Drop them in there. I am absolutely pumped for this one, guys. Now, I don't know if you can see, an ad's playing, but I only have State of Origin playing while it's State of Origin week. I mean, there's an ad going at the moment, but I wake up in the morning, I flick on old State of Origin games, and they just play non-stop until the game kicks off. I love it, man. I can't get enough of it. It is, hands down, the best sporting event we have, and I just get amped for it every single year, and I cannot wait. Now, in this video, guys, I'm going to be going over, we'll just obviously look at the team list, look at some stats, look at the stats, go over a lot of betting insights, because it's only one thing I love more than State of Origin, it's betting on State of Origin. Heaps of betting insights, guys, and I'll also drop all my bets as well at the end of the video too, other than my man of the matches, okay? So I haven't put those down yet. I'll probably do those, maybe even on the day, see how I'm feeling. They are just pretty much a guess anyway, so who knows, Robert Toya could get it, or Bo Firmal, it can be a bit random sometimes. So make sure you subscribe, guys, so you can stay up to date with all that stuff. We're closing in really close to 11,000 subs at the moment, and all my bets are on Dabble, guys. So make sure you join Dabble and you can follow along all the punts on there. And also, if you do want to join our Discord, guys, a lot of good punters in there. I'll put the link to that in the description below, and also a link to the Dabble as well. Or use code SNAG when you are joined, and you'll automatically follow me when you do that. So, without further ado, New South Wales win Game 1. Not Game 1. The first battle. Doesn't look like Queensland showed up to get their photos done. It really does. Oh, just one little quick thing too, guys. If you can hear a little in the background, I do apologise. Little ball bearing loose in my gaming PC. I've shoved it as far away from me as I can. I've ordered a new ball bearing, or a new fan, sorry. And I've put the mic way over this side. I've turned it down. I'm trying to talk a bit louder so you don't have to turn it up too loud to hear me and hear that. It's actually really quiet, but it's just such a sensitive microphone. You can hear it. So apologies if you do hear a little humming in the background. It's not someone humming. At least it's not that Telstra ad, the whistling. Whoa. But like I said, guys, Queensland forget to show up to their photo shoot. And maybe, honestly, they're a little embarrassed about their jerseys this year, because that's another thing New South Wales have won this year. I actually love their jerseys substantially more. I haven't been a huge fan of the New South Wales jerseys lately, but these ones are tough with the Adidas and the stripes and the V now. I'm loving them. I'm absolutely loving them, guys. They're absolutely awesome. All right, let's go through the team list. Let me know what you think about it. Queensland, we have Ponga, Coates, Toya, Hamiso, Val Holmes, Munster, Daly, Cherry Evans. Now, I'm definitely expecting Queensland to shift something. I'm not too sure what yet, but I definitely am expecting them to shift something, because they have the last few years. Billy sort of dropped a little change on us last minute here. And yeah, I'm just expecting, I'm not too sure, Mo to go back to the bench, Lindsay to start something along those lines. I don't think they're going to run out exactly like this, and I think New South Wales could be the same. Starting front row, Mo Fotuaika, Harry Grant, Tuno, Fasula Malaawi. We have Ruben Cotter, Nanai, Patrick Carrigan, bench, Tom Dearden, Lindsay Collins, Bo Fermor, Trent Liero. Queensland, Dylan Edwards, Crichton, Latrell Mitchell, Zach Lomax, Mitchell Moses and Cleary. Apparently Crichton picked up a cork, but he's fine. Corks, man, someone said, hey, it's just a cork, he'll be fine. Bro, some corks, I've had corks where you don't even feel them until you sort of cool down and you just touch it. And I've had corks where it feels like when you stand up or move, you're being blasted in the leg with a machine gun. I've had one where I couldn't walk. I've had a cork where I could not walk, for a day. It was excruciating. I actually couldn't play a game of anything if I did have it. If I happened to have to play that next day, it was so bad. But I'm sure he'll be fine. Also, Payne Haas has trained today, or I think it might have been yesterday as well. So that's good news for New South Wales. Front row, Barnett, Reece Robson and Payne Haas. Back row and lock, Liam Martin, Angus Crichton, Isaiah Yeo. Bench, Watson, Linu, Young, Max, King. Wouldn't be surprised if Max King comes into the starting lineup and maybe Barnett goes back to the bench. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But I highly doubt both teams are going to run out exactly like this. Maybe one will, but I think there will be a change last minute. There's always a little bit of mind games that goes into this. Now, let's talk matchups really quickly. Now, Tryline.com, who I do all my stats with, guys, they couldn't add the extra page, but they did mock one up for me, and I'll put it up. I always get this wrong, this way. Up here now, where everyone should be lining up. So I've got it here on my phone. So when we're talking edges, we're talking Liam Martin, Nathan Cleary, Stephen Crichton, Zach Lomax on Ruben Cotter, Munster, Hammer and Val Holmes. Okay, so very good defensively on that side. That is almost a brick wall. Hammerso scores a lot at Origin, but that is going to be a tall task to score through there. However, Hammerso does score a lot of his tries. Avliv, like, there's just a bouncing ball and it's a dead play almost, and he scoops it up and you're like, oh, damn. All right, other side guys, we have Stephen Crichton, Mitchell Moses, Latrell Mitchell, Brian To'o. Brian To'o is the best defensive winger, so again, I can't really remember what Latrell's defense looks like at centre. I know he's tough once he gets a hold of you, but I'm talking more reads and all that sort of stuff, but still, it's a pretty tough defensive side. And then we have on the other side Jeremiah Nanai, who can be a little bit dicey in defence. Cherry Evans, who can be a little dicey in defence. And Toya, who I actually thought did a very good job on Latrell, but at State of Origin, who can be a little dicey. Who we don't know if he's going to be dicey on defence. And then Xavier Coates. So just looking at these flanks, I definitely, obviously, like New South Wales flanks better. It's just defensively more sound, but there's still so much strike there. I mean, if we're talking aerial, it's probably a wash. Zach Lomax and Xavier Coates. If we're talking just lockdown defenders, I mean, To'o and Crichton are that. Like Zach Lomax and Crichton would have to be two of the strongest outside backs, and just like that, I'd probably chuck, guys like Campbell Graham in there where they just grab you, and once they grab you, like, you're not getting it. Like, if they get a hold of you, you are tackled. And then everything else, like, so we're getting a little vibe here. I'd have to give both edges to New South Wales. They're definitely more potent, I'd say, almost on both sides of the ball. Definitely both sides of the ball. If we're talking front row, look, I actually think Tino's the best front rower in the game, especially when it comes to rep honours. I can't remember a game where Payne Haas last year had his best State of Origin series. Did he play all three? It was his best one anyway. Tino didn't play. I've genuinely thought Tino's had his number every single time. But if we're talking Barnett, Barnett's definitely had him covered. And in the lock department, I mean, Paddy's numbers have been great. It's been more the rest of the team that's letting down. Isaiah Yeo is goated. Bit of a wash. So, front row, middles. I mean, we've got Reece Robson's pretty much another front rower, the way he defends anyway. If we're talking defensively, I like Robson better as a number 9. Offensively, there's no one close to Harry Grant. If we come to the bench, this is where it gets a little dicey for Queensland as well. Connor Watson, probably the best 14. I would have said Wishart as well, but he's been a little off this year. Spencer Linu, best impact forward in the game. Hudson Young, the most informed second rower in the game, I'd say. And then Max King, solid workhorse, been playing really good. Tom Dearden, probably one of the informed number 6s, but how is he going to be used? So I'm not too sure how that's going to work. I thought Lindsay Collins was awful in his first game back last week on both sides of the ball. Both form has been incredible, but again, edge, second row, they don't always get used. And then we have Trent Liero, who I've thought had been good, but I thought was pretty poor in his last 2 games. So I'll give the bench to New South Wales as well. So now we'll talk spine. We're going Munster, Cherry Evans, Harry Grant, and Ponga. That is so scary and so elite, it's not funny. Up against Dylan Edwards, Nathan Cleary, Mitchell Moses, and Reece Robson. If we're talking fullbacks, I don't think either one of these guys is really in tremendous career best form. I think it's a bit of a wash. Halves, I mean, Mitchell Moses is a 7. I think with the halves, right, this is where I'm sort of at with them. I think Nathan Cleary is the best player / number 7 in the comp by quite a stretch. And I think Mitchell Moses is the closest thing to him. I'm not saying he's the second best. I'm saying he's the closest thing to him. Nathan Cleary is what I would call the complete. He's the complete number 7. He does every job. And what does that mean? So he does everything a traditional number 7 should do. For example, Jerome Hughes won the Dally M last year. Yeah, he's not a complete number 7. He's a run first, eyes up. Cherry Evans could sort of almost fall into that mould as well, but he is more complete than Jerome Hughes. But you get what I'm saying. He's not a super organising number 7, kick to corners, build pressure, do all that sort of stuff. He's a rip you apart when you're off your game sort of 7. Now I'd say Mitchell Moses is the closest thing to Nathan Cleary in that just being a complete, like, this is what there's 55 jobs number 7 needs to do, and you're ticking 80-90% of them. That's what I'd sort of consider one. So will it work? I'm not too sure. So I think they have the 2 most complete halves in the team. But you got Cam Munster, game breaker, ad-lived, IQ off the charts, and Cherry Evans been there, done that, but also not in great form. Mitchell Moses, and I know Penrith haven't been winning, but I've still been very impressed with Nathan Cleary. Like he's still doing stuff that's just silly, just absolutely silly. I'd give the halves to New South Wales not by a long shot, but Nathan Cleary tips it over the line for me. And then 9, I think Harry Grant's been far better than Reece Robson. So if we go back to the spine as a whole, I actually sort of like New South Wales is better, but Queensland scares me a lot more. It can tear you to pieces, whereas I think New South Wales is more building pressure, getting through your sets, starting them where they don't want to start, meters from the back end, whereas Queensland's one is Ponga will rip you to pieces. Munster's going to pull your pants down, make you look silly with a show and go. Cherry Evans is going to take a short side when you weren't expecting it. Harry Grant's going to dart out a dummy half and get a try when you didn't think he was there. Do you get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So Queensland scares me. Queensland, but I think as a whole and the balance-wise, I like New South Wales. I don't know which one I like better, if that makes sense. I'm not saying one's better than the other. One scares me, one looks very good. So I don't know, take that with what you will. So overall, what's the general consensus looking like from what I'm saying? New South Wales should win, right? They've got more. If we had to also break down each player and their form currently this year, I'd say New South Wales also tick that box. I'd say they have more players playing better at clubland than Queensland do, but State of Origin, bros. State of Origin, bros. None of that matters. All what I just said just then, none of it matters. It doesn't matter, bros. Queensland come out here and just strangle you, and Cam Munster does some crazy-ish, and they win. It doesn't matter. A lot of these guys that aren't playing great at club will rise to the occasion. It's the way it goes. I almost guarantee. I cannot believe Mo Fodawaker's in this team. I almost guarantee he's going to look the best the best he's looked this year. He's going to look great. It's hard to pick him. It's really hard, guys. All right, so let's go through. Let's have a look at some betting insights. Let's have a look at some of these stat attacks, stuff like that. One sec. Oops. Right, Maroons. The Maroons have won 6 of their past 8 games at Suncorp Stadium. Another tick for the Maroons. Blues have not won back-to-back games at Suncorp since 1997-1998. Maroons have won 5 of their last 6 series opening games. Another tick, Maroons. Nathan Clear, well, all 3 of those are ticks, Maroons. Nathan Clear requires 6 points to become the second Blues player to score 100 points. That is insane. Val Holmes will play his 20th Origin. Every Blues player has played 100 games. Queensland hasn't, obviously, then. Daly Cherry Evans will become the Origin's oldest player. 36 years and 97 days. Didn't Cam Smith play about then? I thought he would have played about then. Ugh, crazy, guys. It's crazy. Right. Let's have a look at some of these guys. Now, if we look at their previous meetings, just more recently, we have... obviously the Blues getting that big wing up there at Suncorp, and then Blues pumping them the game before that. Queensland, New South Wales obviously on a 2-game streak. Queensland on a 2-game skid. Now wins at this venue 64% to 34%. That's all that positive stuff I said about the New South Wales team sort of goes out the window here. It really does. I'm actually really surprised the odds for New South Wales being, I wouldn't call them firm favourites, but they actually weren't that firm. Obviously, a lot of people are dumping money on the New South Wales Blues, which is short in it, okay? But it's actually still pretty mind-blowing to me. Now, let's talk some betting insights, guys, and I'll pop them up on the screen as well, but one sec. So these are all overs, unders, try scorers, all this sort of stuff, all right? So we'll go through all these to help you put your punts together, and not too far away from getting my punts either. All right, so under 40 and a half points. 10 of the last 14 Origin 1 matches have gone under the total match points line, and I like that as well. All you need is a good, nice 20-minute filling out period, and you should hit your unders. Valentine Holmes' first try score. Val Holmes has been the first try scorer in 5 of his 7 previous Origin games. Origin's appearances at Suncorp Stadium. Latrell Mitchell anytime. I like Latrell. We just saw his matchup on Toya. I really do like that. Latrell Mitchell has scored at least 1 try in each of his last 4 Origin appearances. Cam Munster, not bad either. Cam Munster last try scorer. I don't mind that at all. Or just Cam Munster second half try scores. Probably like more likely, just in case he scores it and then there's another one later or something. But just like a complimentary one later or something. Cam Munster has scored a try in each of his last 2 Origin appearances with Queensland as the underdog. Love it. Liam Martin try scorer, $5.60. Liam Martin has scored a try in each of his Liam Martin has scored a try in each of New South Wales' last 2 Origin matches as favourite. Hamiso has scored 2 tries or more in his last 2 State of Origin matches. Queensland has covered the line in its last 5 of 6 matches. Love these guys. I love them. All right, so last 10 games. All right, so record as favourites. Queensland 50%, New South Wales 33%. So even though New South Wales are favourites this and pretty firm, they've only got a 33% strike rate when they are favourites. Like I said, it's State of Origin, guys. None of this stuff matters. It really doesn't. And then obviously the underdog record's just that stat line flipped. So we've got venue stats. Clashes at Suncorp Stadium average 31.4 points. Okay, so unders, right? Average winning margin at Suncorp Stadium is 13.8 points. Queensland with a 70 to 30% win rate in these. Well, I like this one, reliability. Okay. How often each team wins after losing at halftime? Hang on. How often each team wins after leading at halftime? 83%. So if New South Wales are up at halftime, you got like a 25% chance of Queensland coming back. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, so my picks for this one, right? I am So how I think the game's going to go, I think New Queensland are going to be brilliant in this. I really do. And everything's telling me Queensland should win this. Just because a lot of that positive stuff I said about New South Wales Blues at the start doesn't matter. Like, it's a state of origin, it's game one. Like, they get that crowd going. It's going to be hard to reel it back in. It's really going to be hard to bring it back in. I am expecting a very low scoring game. Not super low. I don't think it'll be quite as low as this game here, the 18 points. But I'm thinking 20, 14, 18, 12, somewhere around there. I just really like the Blues in a lower scoring game. Okay, so I just mentioned the game management of Cleary, Moses, just all that sort of stuff. Like, I just feel like if it is close, I'd clutch Cleary. He's not going to have all those rookies and debutants and 18-year-olds like he does at Penrith right now. I think he can steer them home, kick to the corners, do all that stuff. They have so much depth on the bench. They've got impact. It just looks like a more complete team to me. So I think New South Wales in a really tight one, 1-12. 1-12 New South Wales. But I would never put any sort of serious money on this. Like, I wouldn't. It's just Queensland just scare. Like, I'm so neutral in state of origin, but they just scare me. Like, scare me away from being like, Queensland will win. New South Wales will win. You know, like, it's too scary a team. This spine, if clicks, is so scary. And then you have Hamaso who can get sick. You got Xavier who can climb over anyone to get a try. You got Nanai who can leap. You know, there's a lot there. It's scary. You should, if you're a New South Wales fan, don't get all chuffed with this team you got, man. There's a very, very high chance you lose this game. A serious chance. But I just like New South Wales team a bit better. I just like it a bit better. It's very complete. I think they should get the job done, guys. Now, on to my bets. Now, for State of Origin, guys, I just take the L here. I know if you're from New South Wales, you're not going to take a bet that has Queensland winning and vice versa. So I'll do one for Queensland, one for New South Wales, and a double up. I will also probably do man of the matches as well, one from each team as well. But like I said, I'll do that a little closer to the game. All right, so Queensland best bets. Hamaso, try. Like I said, he's got a tough matchup, but I don't think he's going to score through Queensland running great shape. I think he's going to score scooping the ball up and just being in the right place at the right time, doing hammer things, and then he's untackleable. And if it isn't a set line, Maroons to cover the line, 5.5. Like we said, boys, they've covered the line 5 in their last 6 games. And I've also added 2 points to that. The line's actually only 3.5. I've made it 5.5. And then under 41.5 points as well. Like we said, average game 1 totals 33.5. Now, I forgot to mention this stat as well. I just did this one myself. I couldn't find it anywhere. But in their last 5 games at Suncorp, New South Wales have averaged 14.4 points and Queensland 15.6. Just for your information, if you're taking overs and unders for each team. Now, I do normally take those ones. I haven't taken them here, but I just thought I'd let you know them. So unders for both as well, or Queensland over 8 or something as well is pretty nice. All right, so Blues best bet. We have Trell Mitt to score. Like I said, love his matchup. Blues over 4.5 points in the second half. Where's my data on that? Blues have scored at least one converted try in 4 of their last 5 games in second halves. And Blues to win. I need to change that. I'll change it in a minute. I won't do it right now. I forgot to write last 5 games in my bet title there. Now, as far as my actual just straight double up goes, CBS, Now, we have under 45.5 points. This should cover very comfortably. It allows for an extra try or two that I don't factor in. We have the first half under 25, well, under 26 points pretty much. Now, first halves in games average 17.5 points. Like I said, if there is a 15 to 20 minute filling out period, one sec. Damn. This will cover as well. New South Wales Blues under 27.5 points. Like I said, at Suncorp only averaging 14.4, and Maroons over 8.5 for the game. Okay, I like all these. I like all these. They look tough. They look real tough. And that's it. We're done. We finished. We got this all wrapped up in under half an hour. How good is that? I could talk about it all day, but I'm going to go back and keep watching this. Blues are up 22-0. This must be last year's game. But yeah, like I said, guys, I'd love to hear all your guys' thoughts on it. Let me know if there's anything you'd want me to cover in Game 2's video. So if you're like, hey, bro, can you include this? I'll do it. Because like I said, I was sort of sitting here going, I was like, man, I got to get all my stuff for this video. And I was like, oh, how should I structure it? And I was like, bro, just press record and start talking about it. It is not hard to start talking about State of Origin, bro. I'll talk your ear off for hours, lad. Seriously. Oh, I love this time of year. All right, boys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.